After a whirlwind afternoon here at the Olmsted County Courthouse, it's not the decision either side wanted.
I'm going to take a step behind you now. We're on the scene of a structure fire.
Brooke, just moments ago, the Minnesota National Guard took to the skies.
I am in Storm Tracker 3 heading eastbound on Interstate 90. I'll give you a look at what I'm looking at right now. This site is one of several across the Rochester community.
What's the safety protocol and what do you plan on asking him today?
We can see that this is what 6 feet apart looks like. Pretty steady traffic here on Highway 52. The mood is exciting here and it's hopeful. A quick trip to Rochester today for Vice President Mike Pence. The 2019 legislative session begins today. Dr. Noseworthy tells me it's the right time to do this.
Law enforcement have a simple message for people.
Are learning more about COVID-19 every day.
Both parties are back at the state capitol today from part of the loan, causing it to deflate. That's the same amount that's in this bag of flour, making him change part of his lifestyle when he's outside under the sun. It looks like I won't be needing these, and I will be needing this.
The winter storm brought 10 inches of snow to Rochester, and that caused some travel problems today.
Today was an opportunity to learn more about tropical birds like these. In Rochester, Calyn Thompson, KIMT News 3.
You are watching News Channel 3 Daybreak. The time is 6 o'clock, 64 degrees, some light showers falling in North Iowa.
She was a familiar face to those living in North Iowa and southern Minnesota. Not only a journalist, but a daughter, a sister, and friend.
It really doesn't seem like 25 years because it's still so fresh in my mind that it seems it happened yesterday.
Tamara Baker was with Jody the last weekend before her disappearance. Even as the years go by, she still thinks of Jody often.
And I can still hear her voice in my head. And yeah, I miss her a lot.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to Daybreak.
Those who watched Jody on the news felt like they knew her.
In Iowa with an update right now. Caroline?
Well, Amelia, tonight there's
Caroline Lowe covered the Who's Intrude case while at WCCO TV in the Twin Cities. She thinks Jody's disappearance could be linked to her career in the spotlight.
She's one of us. She was doing what we did when she disappeared. We don't know if her person who took her had a connection. We don't know if what happened to her is connected to what she did for a living, but until we see the evidence and there's an arrest and we know who took Jody, I am going to operate on the assumption that that's a strong possibility.
Lowe is a member of the Find Jody team, a group making it their mission to keep Jody's story alive and gather information to aid in the unsolved case.
Because if we're not doing it, I don't know who would be doing it. Sure, the police are doing their investigation, but we're the ones that put up the billboards, we're the ones that put out the flyers. That's our role, is to keep it there and keep Jody from being forgotten.
I think about how nice it'd be to put it together.
Mason City Police aren't offering much information about their investigation.
The investigation file, the integrity of that file is really what we have, and if we put that in the public purview, there's no integrity to that anymore. And so I think that that would be detrimental to this case at this point.
Chief Jeff Brinkley remains hopeful that it can be solved, but maintains police need your help.
We're 25 years out. Whatever that fear is, overcome that and come in and talk to us. Do something for Jody and her family.
If you know anything about Jody's disappearance, you're urged to say something. You can contact Mason City Police Department or the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation. You can also post anonymous tips to findjody.com, George.
This is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Minnesota Department of Corrections, Fairmont Correctional Facility.
Oh, yeah, my name is Danielle McDaniels. I've been convicted of a third-degree murder.
It's a crime that limits Darnell McDaniels to 15-minute phone calls while he's in prison. He's serving a sentence of 13 years and 2 months after being convicted of allegedly selling heroin to Danielle Keene, a sale that ended up taking his life back in January of 2015.
If you look at everything, you will see that I ain't do nothing.
It's a crime that McDaniels claims he didn't commit.
It's a very, very complicated case.
Olmsted County Attorney Mark Ostrom says it's difficult to prove that one particular heroin sale led to Keene's overdose.
I'm very confident that we got it right.
And the reason he's confident,
it's called Spiegel evidence.
And that's evidence of other crimes, wrongs, or acts. Court documents say McDaniels visited the victim, Danielle King, here at the Reza House, which is a sober living home for recovering addicts. There was evidence of items associated with heroin, like a tan powdery substance, spoon, and hypodermic needle in Keen's room. And McDaniels admitted to selling heroin to Keen in the past.
So we knew that Mr. McDaniels had previously sold drugs, and in fact, I think we had an admission from Mr. McDaniels that he had sold drugs. But this is the piece that is most significant in the war on drugs, is to do what we can to save lives.
Right.
William Whitehorn is McDaniels' voice outside of prison walls.
We really need to fix this hole in the justice system.
McDaniels wants to share his story to help the next person.
So the public need a face like mine, who's known to the police for selling drugs, to have the perfect poster boy to take this case.
Before time runs out.
Thank you for using GTL.
Yeah.
Katie and George, after a whirlwind afternoon here at the Olmsted County Courthouse, it's not the decision either side wanted, but it's also a decision that does not mark the end.
We're disappointed because we believe truly that he's not guilty.
At this point, all systems are heading towards just getting it rescheduled.
It's back to the drawing board for both sides as they prepare for what's expected to be a second trial. As for Weiss, he just continues to wait.
Well, can you imagine what your life is like, having a pending case where you've been accused of second-degree murder and not knowing what the outcome's going to be and believing in your heart of hearts that you're not guilty?
It all came down to the jury not being able to come to a unanimous decision whether Weiss did in fact act in self-defense on that fateful January day back in 2018. A complex concept that the state hopes to better clarify next time.
There's just a lot of things that go on in our communities and our societies and the way we are kind of brought up that it created some significant challenges, but yet people were very strong in their positions apparently in the jury room.
A review hearing for this case is scheduled for June 6th at 9 a.m. right here at the courthouse. And it's definitely a different scene tonight than what we've been bringing you throughout the day. Now, when I was in those doors earlier this evening, there was a sense of energy when the president came to town.
From the lakes of Minnesota.
You could feel the sense of pride and unity as President Trump walked into Mayo Civic Center. His visit brought in thousands, as well as the idea of what the Republican Party can do.
America has achieved the biggest comeback in our history. True.
People tell us they felt a sense of positivity as the president spoke.
Very inspired, always, always. I watch all his rallies on TV, but to be at one is amazing.
But I don't know how you could be here and not just feel amazing.
By me showing up is just my way of supporting him. He's done so much for us and he's given the power back to the people. So, yeah, that's just here supporting the president.
What's left behind me tonight is a lot of trash and lawn chairs from the wait earlier today. I'm sure the task for tomorrow will be cleanup. Reporting live in Rochester, Calyn Thompson, KIMT News 3.
I spoke with one woman who's now no longer homeless for the holidays, thanks to the Salvation Army and generous community members.
Merry Christmas and thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, bye now.
We hear them every year.
Merry Christmas. Hi, thank you.
But you may not think about who your donations go to when you stuff $1 in the bucket.
I mean, even if it's 5 cents, it goes such a long way. It touches a lot more families than you see or even realize, but it's worth it.
Janelle Malone knows firsthand.
So this is Issa Rae. She's 12.
The single mother of 5 hasn't had it easy.
I was homeless. Me and my kids were homeless. We were actually sleeping in the car.
It was the Salvation Army and their rapid rehousing program that gave her the chance she needed.
They were really the only ones that entertained me and gave me the opportunity. And it was really just an opportunity of housing because when I was homeless, obviously I wasn't working. And so I needed that one little piece to get on my feet. And after securing the housing piece, I completed college. And now I'm a phlebotomist and have moved forward since then. So it was huge, huge, huge for me.
It was also huge for her kids.
Winter, Ray, Sunny, and Rain. And then we have Zen over here. She's 16 months.
Which is important to the Salvation Army during the holiday season.
Christmas, it's one of those holidays where children especially can realize what their circumstances are.
The circumstances for the Malone family are a lot different this year.
And I'm actually planning, Christmas. Last year it wasn't even fathomable to even think about Christmas. It was more, I got to find somewhere to live, be warm, get fed, those type of things. So this year we're actually celebrating. So that's different.
Seasonal bells allowing a mother to celebrate with her kids. Not just the holidays, but life.
Getting back to the basics of being able to laugh and enjoy each other, because for a while there it was just we're surviving, so we don't really have time to laugh or joke or anything like that. So it's very good to just breathe.
This year, the Rochester Salvation Army has the goal of raising $950,000. At last check, they've met over 40% of their goal.